Hi guys, this is Miss Miller here, and this is one of my drawings from life that I'm going to do for you and you're going to watch. It is one of the optional lessons on the blog and also in Student View. So here is that seed pod that I found in the backyard in that video the other day when I opened it up. And I'm just going to start by sketching. Very lightly, we want to begin on the paper because if I make a mistake, I can easily just erase it then. So if I was pushing really hard on this paper right now with this pencil, that would be the wrong thing to do because that would be hard to erase. See, I've already kind of made a mistake. Probably because I'm talking to you, not focusing on what I'm doing. And I can just draw right over it, pretend it's not there and erase it later. Or if it's confusing for you, erase it now. Okay, and you'll notice that my lines are getting darker as I become more confident in the general shape of the thing that I'm looking at. Okay, so when you're doing this, I want you to think about the details that you're seeing. So I see that there's an outer pod that kind of opens up at the area right here. So that's right in here. And you can kind of see like a seam going up the stem. And the seam is darker than everything else, so I can leave that a nice dark line if it's in the right place. This comes up here, and then this also is dark. Has a little bit of a shape at the end of it. Okay, so right now it kind of looks like a banana, but I'm happy with that. I'll start drawing in details. Like I can see that there are like little sections that the little beans would be in. I notice that they are also parallel to each other. Meaning if there's one here, there's one here. And honestly, sometimes even if you're looking at something and you want it to be realistic, you always want to draw what you see, not what you think you see, but I'm just fitting in these seed pods how I think they should fit in the drawing that I have also, so sometimes it's okay to make it up a tiny bit. But also make sure that you're constantly looking at the object, which you can't see me right now, but I'm constantly looking back and forth at it to see these are kind of square and they're also kind of round at the same time, so it's a little bit of a strange shape to get right. Not even that I'm getting this totally right, but I'm trying. So now I'm going to look for the dark parts because the basic of the drawing is done. And I notice it's dark under here where these areas meet. And it's kind of dark inside of some of these seed pods. Darker in some areas and lighter in others. And the shadows kind of switch as they go around. So why in the world would shading be important? It makes things look more real, and it makes things more 3D feeling and looking. And And it's okay for this to just be a little bit of a sketch. You're just kind of studying the object. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're practicing to get your hands and eyes, this is an eraser by the way, to do the same thing. So you're going to look at something and then your hand's actually going to do what you see. That is a skill and it takes a long time. People get frustrated with drawing and it's hard. But when it's just you and a pencil, there's a whole lot less to try to control versus, say, painting. Painting, you've got water, you've got different size paintbrushes, you've got different types of canvases. There's something really pure and simple about drawing that I like. I mean, trust me, I love to paint, but drawing is so simple and accessible. Pretty much anyone can do it. Some of the first drawings were just made with a human hand and dirt, and then eventually they moved to mixing their spit with colored clay or colored dirt and making handprints on walls in caves. You may have learned about that in social studies, but I don't know. And that's considered some of the first paintings and drawings, actually, is the hands on the walls. So, you know, if your parents say they have like a fire pit in their backyard, or if you have a real fireplace and there's that black stuff left over from the wood that you of course call charcoal, you could pick that up and draw with it. So all that expensive charcoal that you see in the art store, you might have at home. The art store kind of is a little bit more pure, but kind of formulated for drawing. But people have been drawing with plain old charcoal for a long time. And I think since I have time right now, that I will do a drawing with charcoal as well and film the whole thing. So I'm going in and correcting some mistakes. And seeing what other details I can add. I'm adding a cast shadow. If you remember from way back in quarter one, which some of you weren't even in this class back then. So it's like around September or so. I had us drawing from life. And that's what I'm doing here, is basically drawing an object from nature, from life. Meaning I'm not looking at a photograph. That little guy's right there. Put his little seed pod there. You can see a little bit of a shadow here and here. Barely. Just a hint. Just a hint. I see a little bit of a shadow back here too. You'll notice that that background shadow will make your object pop out a little bit more. So this is a great sketch. It's not insanely realistically detailed, but all the elements are there. I've got some light and shadow, And something else you could do if you had some areas that you think needed to be highlighted, use your eraser, any eraser. This eraser, which is one of those art erasers that some of you may have been able to use at school because we had them, and I know some of you guys have them too. You know, I can squeeze it, make it a weird shape, and clean stuff up with it. Little details. Now, here's another secret. If you use a soft pencil like I did, see this is a B. B stands for black, and that is a very soft pencil graphite. And I can add lots of light and dark shadows here. But the only problem with these B pencils that are soft is that they also smear. So if your mom or dad or you or your brother or sister have some hairspray, you can spray it over it and it won't smear anymore. But don't do that until you have all your highlights pulled out. Thanks for watching.